iSARMs.com, the #1 place to learn about SARMs online.
Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and I have a really good one for you today. I want to discuss with you some of the main reasons for using Winstrol for cutting. Now, Winstrol is very widely used. It's one of the most popular steroids out there. It's one of the most, oldest used steroids out there. From the beginning, Dbol and Deca are the two that you're going to hear about the most used from the longest time ago, but Winstrol follows suit right after. It's been around forever. It's an anabolic steroid that's available in both oral and injectable forms. More commonly in oral, but definitely very common in injectable as well. And it's, like I said, it's one of the most popular compounds out there. Everybody's damn near heard of Winstrol. Even people that don't know anything about steroids, most have heard about Winstrol. So let's start with the first reason why it is so nice for cutting, and that is there's no estrogen conversion. Okay? Every steroid that you'll find on the market today is a derivative of testosterone. And as you probably already know, when there's an abundance of free testosterone within your bloodstream, it can begin to convert to estrogen. Now, this can lead to side effects like gynecomastia, which is not only embarrassing and it's really detrimental psychologically, but it can also become permanent if precautions aren't taken. Now, Winstrol doesn't readily convert to estrogen because it's got a really unique molecular structure, which means that it doesn't require the use of an aromatase inhibitor. Therefore, as you know, it's considered a dry compound, perfect for cutting and sculpting your physique. Obviously, if you're getting ready for a show, if you're trying to really get more aesthetically pleasing, the last thing that you're going to want to do is run something like Dbol that converts to estrogen. Now, if you're bulking, of course, Dbol is going to be your top option or right near the top. But not in this scenario. Winstrol is perfectly tailored for cutting. Now, Winstrol also protects your gains. Now, generally your primary goal during your cutting cycle is to lose fat and gain definition in your muscle, but you'll often need like a calorie deficient diet to really achieve the results you want. Now, unfortunately, calorie deficiency can throw off all your body's metabolism, and what that does is it can cause you to actually metabolize your muscle tissue as well as fat in order to provide a constant source of energy. See, Winstrol is going to help you protect your muscle mass gains while you cut, and it even makes your muscles a fuck of a lot stronger as you go. One of the things about Winstrol, it doesn't get recognized for the amount of strength and the amount of lean muscle gain that you can get. I've used Winstrol with just test, and I've put on nearly 10 pounds. Now, granted, my body responds crazy to orals for some odd reason. I don't know why, and this was even while attempting to cut. I always eat at a calorie deficit. It's always going to be that way because I can't consume 3,500 calories a day generally, and that's about where my maintenance is because of all the cardio and training that I do. So it's between 35 and 37. And so I always have to take compounds that are going to, really work well with that. That's why I like SARM so much. But I pick compounds like Winstrol for this purpose. It's perfect for this purpose. And as I said, it's not going to cause any water retention. There's several steroids, on the market that are primarily used for cutting, but one of the most bothersome side effects associated with these is bloat. When you're in the middle of a cutting cycle, you're trying to achieve a really hard, dry, vascular, and aesthetically pleasing look, not something swollen and bloated. That's why Winstrol is one of the most popular choices among bodybuilders. It's not going to cause any sort of water retention, and quite the adverse, actually. That's why you get the joint pain and all the drying out from Winstrol, because it dries you out. It strips water away. So you don't have to worry about any sort of water retention. Now, high bioavailability is the next one. Now, you've probably read that oral anabolic steroids are not as powerful as their injectable counterparts because only a certain amount of the steroid passes through the liver and into your bloodstream. The good news is that Winstrol is one of the most bioavailable steroids out there today. Okay? It passes through the liver completely unscathed, which means you can expect most of the dose to actually wind up in your bloodstream where it belongs and it's intended to be. But very large doses for long periods of time are going to cause liver damage, so it's important to use it wisely. And not just liver damage. Winstrol can really wreck your cholesterol, and obviously being a C17 alpha alkylated steroid, it can increase your blood pressure. It does numbers on your kidneys. There's a lot of issues that you have to worry about there, and that's why an all-in-one protectant is necessary, and that's why you can only run it 6 weeks. And then you need to get off of it. Now, you can do the injectable longer, but it's still toxic. Don't kid yourself. Now, it's not as toxic as the oral, but it's still toxic. Now, the side effects are not that crazy on Winstrol. Unlike a lot of steroids for cutting that can cause mood swings, like halotestin, for example, that can make you a fucking lunatic, things that cause a lot of sexual side effects, oily skin, acne, and general feelings of just being thrown off, kind of like Tren can do to you. Winstrol's different. When it's used as it's supposed to be used, okay? It's got to be done properly, and if it's done safely, for both men and women, the risk of side effects is rather low compared to most. Now, there's still side effects present like I discussed, but it is only minimally androgenic. So that means that women have a lesser chance of experiencing any sort of virilization, and what's more, men often report feeling more alert, more energetic after starting their cutting cycles with Winstrol, and I can vouch for that. I fucking love Winstrol. I'm using it right now, and I feel phenomenal on it. Now, there's been some times where I've pushed it a little too far, like 6.5, 7 weeks, and the lethargy, boom, because it's killing your liver, even with protection. Sometimes, even me that teaches people have had to learn the hard way, but I teach you because I have learned, and I don't make the same mistakes twice. So I'm trying to make sure that you guys don't make any mistakes that I've made. Anything that I can prevent, I'm going to attempt to at least teach you to do it. Some of you guys are going to do that. Oh, fuck him. He's a pussy. Some of you guys listen and you thank me a lot later. Some of you guys call me names and say things and then come asking me for help. And generally I'm a pretty good dude and I'll do it anyway, even after, because, everybody, I've been there. I've been young. I've been one of those guys that thinks I know everything. I know I don't know everything now, and that's what makes me wise. See, when you think that way, then you're much wiser. Just a little food for thought. But as you can see, Winstrol has been one of the most popular steroids since like the 1940s. Very, very good reasons for it, okay? It's safe when it's used as directed to a point. I can't sit here and tell you all steroids are safe, but they can be ran safely, okay? It's effective. It does the best job of protecting muscle mass and providing energy when you're calorie deficient, and it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing steroids out there. So that's Winstrol. That's why it's so good for cutting, and that's why I love it. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.